Hi, I'm Ethan Blackwood. Welcome to another horror story based on true events. Before this story begins, listen carefully. What you're about to hear is based on true events. There are no monsters. There are no legends. Just a place, one night, and something that shouldn't be there. If you hear something behind you while this is playing, don't turn around. Let's begin. There are places where tragedy doesn't leave. It lingers. This happened in 2014, an abandoned hospital on the outskirts of the city, closed after a fire that officials called electrical failure. But not everyone made it out. My friend Daniel didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in exposure, lighting, and angles. Urban exploration was his obsession. Abandoned buildings were just empty shells to him, until that night. He told me the hospital felt different the moment he stepped inside. Not scary, heavy, like the air itself didn't want to move. At 11:38 p.m., he sent me a voice message. He was whispering, "I keep hearing wheels." I asked him what he meant. He paused for a long time before answering, like a wheelchair, moving slowly. He said the sound wasn't constant. It would roll for a few seconds, then stop, as if something was adjusting its direction. He tried to convince himself it was debris shifting, wind, metal contracting in the cold. But there was no wind that night. At 11:52 p.m., he sent a photo, a long corridor, peeling paint, flickering flashlight beam. At the very end, barely visible, a wheelchair. He swore it hadn't been there before. Minutes later, another message. "It's closer now." His breathing had changed, short, controlled, forced. I called him immediately. He answered. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then I heard it. The slow, uneven sound of wheels turning against tile. Not rushed, not chaotic, measured, like someone who knew exactly where they were going. Daniel whispered, "I'm not moving." The sound continued, closer, closer. Then it stopped. Complete silence. And in that silence, he said something I'll never forget. "She's behind me." The call dropped. Police found him early the next morning, 3rd floor, sitting in a wheelchair in the middle of the hallway. That floor had been sealed off since the fire. The elevator hadn't worked in decades. There were no signs of forced entry, no footprints besides his own. Daniel woke up hours later in the hospital. He doesn't remember sitting down. He doesn't remember turning around. But he keeps repeating one sentence when the building is mentioned. She was finishing her shift. Records from the fire mention a nurse who disappeared that night. Her body was never recovered. Some former staff once claimed she refused to leave patients behind, even during the fire. The hospital was demolished in 2016. Workers reported hearing something during the night shifts, a faint, dragging sound, wheels. If you ever find yourself alone in a silent place and you hear something moving behind you, don't turn around. Some shifts never end. If this story made you feel something, don't ignore that feeling. Real horror doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just stays with you. If you enjoy true stories like this, subscribe, There are more cases waiting to be told, more nights that were never explained. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. And now I want to ask you something. What would you have done if you had been in that place? Tell me in the comments. I'll read them. And sometimes, the stories you share are even darker.